Well, this is the week that Sean has been waiting for. It is match week 10. That means
Oh,
we have a little bit of a look in here coming. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal, wherever that is. It's right there. That's Brad. He supports Chelsea, and down below, that is Sean. He supports Tottenham Hotspurs. Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening? Happy Halloween.
Read the
to you
table. Read
You
it
missed.
all last year.
We'll
you
get there.
couldn't wait to get to that table.
We'll
You
get there.
missed the badge. And when you get there, just let me know so I can drop. I'll come back after the table.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We can miss that. You can miss me with that.
Well, yes, we have officially booked.
First table that counts.
We've booked 10 games in the Premier League. That means the table is officially relevant at this point. Now, a little bit of, I think, just background for you guys. I think that the table is worthless until match week 10. Sean doesn't like me to read it every week. So I think from here on out, we'll probably look in maybe once every 5 weeks or so. Maybe we'll throw a small table up in one of the blank spaces on this video. But if you're on one of the podcast sites and you don't see the table when I bring it up here in just a minute, just pull it up on Google. PremierLeague.com/table, I believe, is the URL for the Premier League site. But you can check that out. But before we dig into this review of Match Week 10, if you are new here, if YouTube or the podcast sites recommended us to you and you click the link, first, thank you. Second, if you wouldn't mind listening and deciding that it would be valuable to you to hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell, drop a comment down below. If you're on the podcast site, follow, rate, review, anything that you can do on your specific podcast site really does help us out tremendously. Because we are still growing this podcast and still trying to reach new people, new friends, and we just like talking about football. We enjoy talking about it with the people who listen, and we hope that's you. Yeah, that's it. Match week 10. Okay, so we got a couple comments from last week that we want to get into before we get into the meat and potatoes. I have here, and I'm going to throw out the largest caveat in the world, Jimmy. But Brad copied all of your messages from YouTube into our rundown.
So I just copied and pasted. You taught me the Control Shift V method, and that's all I did.
Okay, and so in theory, now, Brad, remember, the internet is forever, and people can pull up youtube.com/whatever the URL for last video was. And
hit that subscribe button again. If they haven't yet, hit that subscribe button.
Don't hit it again if you're already subscribed, because that will unsubscribe you. Okay, so Jimmy apparently says, Brad is right. Already seems like a dubious start. Palmer was the man of the match, and Mudryk meant that goal. It was in no way a happy accident.
Man, Jimmy, best comment you've ever made, bro. Sorry, it was 2 comments.
Oh, it was
best comments you've ever made.
It was 2 comments. Is there an editor's note
You
here?
just read it. No, you just read it all as 1 comment.
Interesting.
Great job.
Interesting. Well, I might need to do some research and see if that's a legit comment. He had a second comment, which I think is more legit because I saw you copy and paste it into the rundown. But it says, talking about the Konate goal. So this is talking in reference to the Everton-Liverpool Merseyside derby. And I made a claim last week that apparently Evertonians were upset that Konate wasn't sent off. Jimmy says, the Konate second yellow claim, I remembered thinking there shouldn't have even been a foul called. Konate never breaks stride on his way to the ball and had a slightly better position to the ball. He had his arm up, extended, and his hand/finger makes light contact, and the dude collapses like he's been punched in the throat. So I don't personally know any Everton fans who would dispute that claim, but we have a Liverpool supporter saying he calls shenanigans. So
Fair enough.
I did do some research, and it looks like Brad is a filthy liar because it said
What?
that Mudryk goal was 100% a happy accident is Jimmy's specific legal claim. You can check it out on youtube.com.
Look, something messed up with my keyboard. I don't know what happened. But the first part of the comment was right, though.
Yeah, the Cole Palmer. He did have some love for Cole Palmer.
I think he hit Control Alt V, which would have altered the context of what was being pasted.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe it was a finger slip.
instead of Control Shift.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll go with that. We'll just roll with that.
Yeah.
All right. It is time, gentlemen, that we must look at the Premier League table. And as everyone can see, we have Arsenal in above Manchester City on 24 points. Manchester City is slightly behind, also on 24 points, but their goal difference is the same.
You started a little late.
What was that? Huh?
You started at number 2.
What? No. What do you? I don't know what you're talking about. This is
You missed the top spot. 8-2-0. 8-2-0.
Oh. Is that it's a pigeon or a chicken or something like that? Okay. All jokes aside, Tottenham Hotspurs on top of the Premier League table after 10 match weeks, undefeated, 8 wins, 2 draws. They have a positive 13 goal difference on 26 points. So big congrats to Tottenham. That's a great start for them. I would also like to throw out there that Sean Stradamus, before we started the season, predicted that Tottenham would have 24 points through 10 matches. So Big Ange is outperforming Sean Stradamus,
exceeding Sean Stradamus.
So we will get into Sean's specific feelings about that because I'm sure he has some. Rounding out top 4 is Liverpool on 23. Aston Villa is 5th with 22 points. Now, 4 points separating 1st through 5th. Now, of course, 10 games. Not a whole lot has happened, but we could have a really spicy title race. Now, I don't think Aston Villa is going to be in the title race. Maybe they will be, but I think that they're going to fall away. But if we have a 4-horse race for the title, Tottenham, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, that would be the first time in many years that it would be that spicy.
Well, don't forget Liverpool. Liverpool had the incredibly challenging start. They have all of their hard games out of the way.
Yeah, they're
going to close on Boxing Day with reckless abandon.
Yeah, you have the fatal flaw of looking forward and
looking for the runs. Yeah, looking at the runs of games and where they're bunched up and if they're spread out, and that's an indication of how it's an indication of how to compartmentalize parts of the season. Where if you're a Newcastle fan, you should have looked at the schedule completely through December and said, "All right, we're not going to come out of the gate well." But if we get through that and we're in a decent position, they're in 6th, by the way, we're probably going to have a pretty good run here, and we're going to make a run at the top 4 again.
Yeah, so, I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting when we revisit this here in a couple weeks. But Newcastle, like you said, 6th, Brighton's in 7th. United are up into 8th. They've picked up some points. West Ham and Brentford round out our top 10. In a familiar position in 11th. Is everyone's favorite London club, Chelsea. That seems to be 11th, 12th. That's like their favorite position over the last 2 years. I mean, it is what it is.
Facts are facts.
Just by the way, Brad, you're on pace for 34 points. I just want you to know.
I know.
I just throwing it out there.
Tottenham and Chelsea. What a season. Wolves are in 12th. Palace are in 13th. Fulham are in 14th. Everton, they picked up some big points this weekend, are up into 15th. Forest and Bournemouth round out our safe teams. And in the drop zone, since the drop zone is super relevant, 28 games away from the end of the season, we've got Luton Town, Burnley, and Sheffield United.
I would like to point out that I think I did the research that the bottom 3 teams as of this point are the 3 promoted teams. And I am sure in the 30-year history of Premier League that all 3 promotion teams have gotten relegated the season that they were promoted. I'm sure that's happened before, but it has not happened in the last 5, possibly 6 years. There has been at least one promoted team that has staved off relegation. Yeah. So this will be interesting if all 3 go back down just as they came up. So
Bournemouth are still in 17th. They're only 1 point off of Luton Town. There is a little bit of a gap between Bournemouth and 16th Nottingham Forest. So
20th. Oh, sorry. I thought you were going down. I'm sorry. Sheffield United is basically relegated, right?
I mean, no,
Yeah,
but
no.
I mean,
there's still 28 more games.
I mean, they have had an all-time stinker, literal for the record book stinker.
Like the record books have been like they might surpass Derby County, and I don't think it's an exaggeration.
Hold on, I need to pull this up. I put it on Discord, so I'm going to pull this up.
And sorry, Brad, you're on pace. I just redid the math. You're on pace for 44 points.
All right,
safe.
About what you got last year. Yeah.
So this is a tweet that I found the other day, and this is in our Discord. So this is a shameless plug for you to join our Discord. But I found this was on Reddit. I guess it wasn't a tweet; it was on Reddit. And I didn't fact check it. It might not be true, but this is what it said. It said Sheffield United's start to the season after 10 games of 1 point and a negative 22 goal difference is the worst Premier League in history. The worst in Premier League history. Only 2 teams have picked up 1 point or fewer in their first 10 games. Sheffield United in 23-24. And Sheffield United in 2021.
This is why Sheffield United have supplanted Norwich in the team that should never come back up to they should be just barred from getting promotion. Just don't come up here. Clearly, you're not going to put the money into the team. Clearly, they're not going to. They're embezzling money and just putting it straight into their pocket and not doing anything for their fans.
I mean, we could talk about poor ownership out of Sheffield, but I don't think we would specifically talk about United. But that's for a grander English footballing podcast. Maybe we could have that conversation on Discord about Sheffield Wednesday. But we're going to get
a cooler logo, man. They got a cooler logo. That's all I'm saying.
They might not have it for long. It might go up for auction. All right, we're going to get into the specific results here. Again, those are scrolling along the bottom here. That ticker just started back over, so you guys are checking out the Brentford-Chelsea result. But we're going to kick off. We're going to start on Friday. It was the Crystal Palace-Spurs match. This is the annual Sean telling us that Crystal Palace is the bane of his existence, and then Spurs beating them, and then we're in 6 months when Spurs play Palace again, he's like, oh man, it's Crystal Palace again. That's the bane of our existence. So how you feeling, man? Got a victory.
At halftime, we were getting soundly beat. We had 70%. We have 70% possession at halftime, and they had 10 shots, 3 on goal, and we had something like 6 shots, none on goal. Or 3? No, it was 3 shots at halftime, none on goal. So if you just look at I was at work. So if you just look at the stats, we are getting soundly beat.
It's
and
funny.
they haven't happened to score at that time.
I think Joel and I were both watching. I was at the hospital at the time for baby arrival purposes, and
Joel, hence the carriage.
Yeah. If you guys can see it, it's over my shoulder there. The baby's not in it. But Joel's texting us, and he's like, right when Crystal Palace scored the own goal to give Tottenham the lead, he was so apoplectic in our text chat about how useless Crystal Palace was, and then Spurs scored the second, and he's just like, I'm turning the game off. This is ridiculous. It was pretty true. Crystal Palace were good for good value in the first half.
Yeah, and I did make the comment that this was no stick to Joel or you guys, but it is a really good feeling to be at the top of the table and have relatively neutral fans rooting against us. Because we have no beef with Newcastle, but he's actively rooting for us to drop points, which is a good feeling. I don't wish that away. I hope Joel is rooting for me to for Tottenham to drop points all year, because that means we're ahead of them.
You know who's rooting for you to take maximum points at this point? Manchester United fans. Because think about this. So Spurs are on top, and below them is Arsenal, a huge United rival.
Yeah.
Manchester City, obvious rival, and then Liverpool, like United's ancestral rival, forever blood enemy. Yankees, Red Sox rival.
We got
United Trey is going to be twerking for Spurs for the next 6 months.
I'm here for it. Is he back on Twitter? Did he get unbanned?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is why I brought it up, because he was the one. He was the one saying it. But so how do you feel overall? Give me your impressions. All right, so I'm going to ask you two questions. One, how do you feel right now?
It's good. I feel like I ruined the podcast for you two, especially because I just tweet my feelings out as they happen.
Yeah.
But I gotta remember to be in the moment. As of right now,
Yeah.
week 10, we are top of the table. That is something to be said for that. Whether in 28 games we are that way, I don't think any of three of us believe that in 28 games that we'll still be top of the table. But you never know. You got these are 26 points that we haven't had in any previous season that cannot be taken away by legal means.
And that's the thing.
You don't get deducted points unless
they in the bank.
That's it.
They in the
They're
bank.
in the bank.
Can't take them away.
Yeah.
All right. And so you feel good right now. Just ballpark. What's the point total for Tottenham this year? What's the goal?
Don't put that juju on me.
What's the point total, bro?
I haven't run the point note. The point.
So little context for you while he's thinking. Last year,
possible 84.
There's way more than 84.
Way more. What? We've only dropped 4 points.
No. I'm saying the rest of the points left that you can add to your total is 84 points left.
Okay.
There are 84 points available to you in the next 28 games.
That's not what you said. What you said the second time makes more sense. But so last year we talked about this midway through the season, and Arsenal had picked up like 50 points or something like that. And I made the claim that anything less than 85 points for Arsenal this year I'm going to be upset. And then Arsenal finished with 84 points. So Sean, what is the absolute lowest number that Tottenham can get that you won't be upset about?
Well, last year City won the title on 89 points, so 90 is the goal.
Wasn't it 87 points? Did they win on 87 points?
It was 89 points, won by 5 points over Arsenal on 84, and you were 9 clear of third with 75.
Okay, so you want 90 points? Is that what you just said?
90 points is the goal. Whatever is 1 point ahead of City, that is what I'm shooting for.
All right. Do you know what the all-time point total, like what Tottenham's greatest point total has been in the Premier League era? Do you know? It's got to be like the upper 70s.
I do not know off the top of my head.
I would imagine it's upper 70s.
I'm on it.
What does Google say?
Hold on, we're waiting.
This is great riveting podcast content.
I know, I'm so sorry. Tottenham's best.
Where's Jamie?
16, 17.
Pull that video up, Jamie. How much?
Hold on.
All right.
Well, recalculated.
86.
86. What season did they get 86 points?
2016, 2017.
16, 17. We finished second.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Chelsea finished first.
Yeah.
Conte. That's Conte's year.
Got it. Okay. All right. That's okay. So that's more than I thought. Okay.
And then the year after that, we had 77.
Yeah, I figured like 75, like 77, 78, 79 would be, but okay, 86. That's a really respectable point total. So to lose the league and have 86 points is terrible. That's gut wrenching.
What normally wins? 80?
I feel like
86 around that number. 85. I think is like the
if you get above 85, like most seasons you win the league. Now there's some outliers where you get 99 points and then you don't win.
99. I was gonna say
soul shattering.
Or Liverpool.
That's the most absurd thing in the world. To have two teams that were basically Centurion. I mean, obviously one team was Centurion, and have a second team that was right there with them is insane. All right, Brad, tell us about Chelsea Football Club, because I believe that I made a claim last week that I said something along the lines of, well, yeah, Chelsea's in a good run of form, and then they're going to go lose to Brentford, and lo and behold,
we went and lost to Brentford.
You guys went and lost to Brentford.
I mean, off the top of my head, no, I'm not happy with where we're at. We've dropped at least, off the top of my head, at least 9 points. At least 3 games that we should have won and could have won if we could bang goals. Specifically, the Brentford game. Like if Maduke's goal goes in, if any of Cole Palmer's awesome passes to his teammates goes in the net, specifically Cucurella, he released Sterling. like we win that game, right? We dominated that first half, and as we didn't score, it just felt more and more like, oh, Brentford's going to score again, just like at Forest, just like at West Ham. We had the same thing happen. So, am I frustrated with the point total? Yes. Is there progress with the team? Also, yes. So I have hope.
Yeah. I think you would be a foolish person to look at this Chelsea team and not think that there's more for them out there.
Yeah, and I think we'll get it this year. I would be. I guess your next question is going to be what
No.
is acceptable?
No. That was a throwaway question for Sean. I guess a bigger question I have for you is that Chelsea have historically over the last 5 or 6 years had a deficit in the number 9 position. You've tried a number of people.
Yes.
You've tried a number of people there to be your primary goal scorer, your prima punta, and nothing seems to stick at Chelsea. There is the Chelsea number 9 curse. So
Nobody has that jersey this year. I don't know if you know that there is not a number 9 at Chelsea this year.
But why? Like, why can't Chelsea find a goal scorer?
I don't know. I guess Diego Costa put a curse on it. But no, the 9 jersey did not pass Pochettino's lemons. And so that's why nobody's a number 9 this year. I don't know. We spent the money. Like we've tried everything. There's one thing that Chelsea has not tried. And it would be great if the fan base could chill enough for us to try patience. Because I think Nico Jackson or Broja could be that 15 to 20 goal scorer that you need to be competing for the title.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just appreciate some patience. Or had we just stuck with Tammy Abraham, which apparently the rumor is Roma is offering us him back in exchange for Lukaku.
Oh, they'll take Lukaku on a permanent deal.
Correct.
Is it? I thought Chelsea's buyback for Abraham was like 75 million euros or something like that.
I think it was last year.
Yeah. It expired at this point.
Yeah. Yes, that was what it was because we saw him for like 50, I think.
Yeah.
Which I like. I think that was decent business, assuming he's not hurt, right? Assuming he doesn't blow out his knee like he did. I think that was still good business on Chelsea's part to have that buyback clause. It's annoying because we should have just stuck with him. Because he had 12 goals that season that we sold after that we sold him. It
was Tuchel though that kind of thought he wasn't good enough, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
You could also just try a new manager that doesn't need a striker, like Big Ange Postecoglou. Don't need a striker. We just play an offense that scores goals anyway.
Well, I would agree with you. I think it's a better system for your team to have 5-10 goal scorers in the team than to have 1-25 and 4-5 goals. You know what I mean? Like I think it's better to spread the goals around holistically.
That's what you had last year at Arsenal.
But I would also
you had 3 over 15, wasn't it? It was definitely 3 over 10. 3 or 4 over 10.
We had 5 over 10. We had 5 over 10 last year.
Yeah. I knew it was something crazy.
But let me just can I point you in the direction of one Erling Haaland?
Yeah.
It's not bad having a guy who scores 38 goals or whatever it is.
Yeah. Just drop him the ball. Let's go. Hold on. I forget who it was, but one commentator was like, "You could put Jude Bellingham and Mbappe on this team, and they're still not winning." And I'm like, "Wait." You're wrong.
Bradshaw.
I don't know.
You're wrong.
You guys just don't have goal scorers, man. Like this is the problem. Is that like you can put all the number of midfielders and attackers on this team, but until you have people who will put the ball in the net reliably and intentionally,
Which okay, look, Bellingham is in La Liga, so he's banging in goals no matter who he's playing because it's La Liga. Mbappe, you're not saying Mbappe is not a goal scorer?
Are you saying that? Did you say La Liga is like a farmers league? Is that what you said?
I'm not. Yes. I'm not sold on the Bellingham hype. I'm going to put that out there.
Honestly, of the conclusion of your sentence, are you saying that the French league is better than La Liga?
Ooh. Interesting.
Because you discredited Bellingham's
and
goals.
pumped up Mbappe. You're right. I guess I did say that. Yes.
Okay, so you're back in Le Havre over
Yes.
Real Betis.
Yes.
All right.
Yo, shout out Real Betis. They just signed Socrates Papadopoulos. Well, however you say his last name. Papadopoulos. There it is.
Papadopoulos.
Yeah, Papadopoulos, ex-Arsenal player.
You're back in Bordeaux.
Listen,
Over.
I'm backing Strasbourg.
Okay. All right. This is
Winning
we're in
the
the
league.
week. Okay. All right. Whatever.
Anyways,
I don't know. Chelsea. What I think is going to happen is that Chelsea, and as much as you want to try and claim that Chelsea is net spend FC at this point, that it's going to be. Hold on. This is what he claims now. In the text message, at least. Maybe not publicly on the podcast, but this is what at least what he texts to us, Sean.
You're twisting this, but I'm interested.
How?
you said we've been net FC for the past 4 years. You said that.
I said besides the past 18 months, we
Where you
have been
spent
Chelsea
$1
FC
billion.
net spend. I said besides the last 18 months,
Oh my god.
Chelsea
Okay.
FC has been a net spend
you don't-
FC.
You don't get net spend
I did
FC when
say
you
that.
spend $1 billion. You don't get that.
All right. I think my main point is that I think Chelsea is just going to go out and spend like
Oh yeah,
150 million on Osimhen this in January. Like,
Osimhen or Tony. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can get Tony for 61 million pounds, which seems like good business, but apparently it might be too much for Arsenal, which seems crazy to me. But whatever.
Well, you also had to do the loan with like permanent buy next year for Raya.
What makes that bad business for Arsenal? Good business for Arsenal. You have to justify that you already have two already. You have Jesus and Kedia. So where does Tony fit in? Or does he just supplant the money that you paid for Jesus? And then so that's also you have to.
The question is he an upgrade? The question is Tony an upgrade over those two?
So basically, you have to say, is 60, what'd you pay for Gabby? 50? 45?
45, I think.
45? So that just makes Tony a $110 million striker. Is he worth that? Because if he's going to start over Jesus, you just paid $45 million for a backup.
Yeah, but
2 years ago.
I mean,
okay,
it's
but
better
hold on,
than
time out,
60 mil for a backup.
Yeah, you paid 60 mil for a backup and you're fine with it. So like, what are you saying? The point is,
I'm just saying.
Is Ivan
trying to
Toney
forget.
Is Ivan Toney a player that could help push a team over the line in a championship push?
He has what's he playing? Sunday League? Like, how do we know he's any good anymore? Like, is he staying in shape?
Yes, he's playing in the Brentford B team.
Okay.
They don't have an academy, so like they just set up friendlies against U23 teams essentially. So like, is he staying somewhat close to match fit? Yes. Is he probably no?
I think you guys are slandering Ivan Toney for whatever reason. I think.
Hold on. I like Ivan Toney.
I think we all agree he's one of the better number 9s in the league. Or are you just pushing back on this now, Sean?
Oh, I'm pushing all the way back.
Is this devil advocate or this is devil's advocate? Okay.
Yeah, this is Troll Sean. Troll Sean's coming out his hole.
What about this derby?
Yeah. We were gonna skip the Arsenal game because there's nothing interesting happened there. But
wait. I want to give you your Sean. Do you want to talk about 5 goals at Sheffield against Sheffield?
Eddie Nketiah had a fantastic hat trick. His
in about 3 minutes he had it. It felt like,
bro, his first goal specifically was super nice, where he received the ball and took one touch and put the defender completely out of position. There was nothing the defender could do and just slot it past the keeper. And then his third goal, where he collects the ball outside the box, takes one touch and just rips it into the top left corner. Sublime. Check it out. Tomiyasu gets his first Arsenal goal. And then it was a good game. Really enjoyed it. But really the big one to talk about is the United City match, the Manchester derby. Pep and the boys win 3-0. And it was a fairly tight game until Manchester City got the softest penalty of all time.
Yeah.
So
well, we've talked about how a lot of refs are from Manchester. We have not.
Ooh.
We have not picked out which club they support in Manchester.
Well, I don't know where Michael Oliver's from, but I do know that 3 weeks ago he was in the United Arab Emirates refereeing a soccer match, probably getting paid a lot of money. And since then, he has failed to send off Kovacic for a second yellow card that everyone widely agrees should have been a second yellow card. And then he proceeds to instruct he is the VAR official in this United City game, instructs the match official that he made a clear and obvious error in not adjudicating Rasmus Højlund's foul on Rodri. Should have been a penalty. So, I'm not here to defame or slander or cast aspersions, but that looks a bit questionable to me.
He's actually from somewhere, Ashington, which is just north of Newcastle.
I don't care where he's from. I care.
He went to Saudi and got that bag.
He didn't go to Saudi Arabia. He went to the United Arab Emirates.
Yes.
To the UAE,
get that bag.
Which, interestingly enough, you should check into the ownership structure at Manchester City. Just it's a crazy coincidence.
Yeah, the initials I think are of the owners are UAE, I think.
So, what I'll say about this game, it's not surprising. I mean, Manchester City are much better than this Manchester United team. This Manchester United team has, I think their biggest issue is, they have multiple issues. Their goalkeeper is weird. Like he doesn't know what he's doing. Onana is not going to take them to the next level. Their defense is in shambles because they have so many injuries, and their midfield is just all over the place. This United team is really they've got a lot of just like systemic issues in this team right now, and they're going up against this well-oiled machine in Manchester City. Like, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that City.
Did we ever find out if the quote from Holland or from not Holland
from Ten Hag
was legitimate or not?
I haven't gone and done the research, but probably. But like,
this could be completely fake news that we are reporting, or possibly we're not reporting. This could be fake news. This is a full disclaimer.
I think Sean is reporting on a fake tweet that Brad sent us. This is my
It might be. I said it might be.
I hope it is. I hope it is. But because the quote read from Ten Hag that they are still struggling with issues about how Ronaldo destroyed the locker room, and they're still working through that.
Oh yeah.
And I just, like I said, me and James both were like, that has to be fake, because no manager is going to admit I am so incompetent at my job that something that happened over a calendar year ago still has effect over my locker room, that I can't do my job in a way that overcomes that. No manager would say that. And if that is a real quote, he should be just fired immediately. Just immediately. Like, you just admitted I am incompetent at my job.
And this is why it can't, but it also, like, there's no way that
it cannot be real.
There's no way that he would have said Ronaldo by name. There's no way he would have said Ronaldo by name. That's a funny quote. Yeah. And I hope it's real, but
it was funny.
It's not.
Yes.
What, Brad? You go.
Okay. I just have questions with Ten Hag's tactics, because he said it was tactics is why Varane and Reggie didn't start over Johnny Evans and Victor Lindelof.
Okay.
You have Varane, who's won 3 Champions Leagues at least, right?
World Cup.
Probably 5. World Cup. Won all these things. Johnny Evans, who we just said is 39 years old.
Young.
Victor Lindelof, who is not a left back. When you went out and loaned in a left back specifically to play left back to cover your injuries, and you don't play him because of tactics. You spent 60 mil on a midfielder that was replaced by somebody that you loaned in the same transfer window. Scott McTominay is still in this team. I'm just confused.
But is he good enough to?
Is he a top 6? Is he a Manchester United player?
Scott McTominay is a good player when Casemiro is right and Bruno is right. When he doesn't have to do either of those crucial roles, he is a fine play. He is a fine addition to a fine third in the midfield three.
Scott
He is
McTominay would be a great midfielder at West Ham. Scott
Right.
McTominay would be a great midfielder at Fulham. He's not good enough. He doesn't have the skill set. Like, yes, he scores the occasional goal, but he is inconsistent. He is not a great passer. He is hot-headed. And he just doesn't, he doesn't have the temperament to be a top 4, top 6 midfielder.
Correct. I agree.
Consistently.
I'm on Premier League website and what they have as their 5 midfielders: Amrabat, Bruno, Rashford, Eriksen, McTominay. So I'm assuming Bruno and Rashford Bruno is not the 10, which is probably his best spot. I'm guessing Eriksen was the 10. That makes the most sense. This has as McTominay as the 10 and Eriksen as the
box to box
as the pivot. Yeah, as the pivot with Amrabat. But even if you just had those, like, I'm just confused on. He has too many players that fit the same profile that don't fill out a team, right? Like Mason Mount's not starting.
Nope. No, he doesn't.
Huh?
No.
Mason Mount did not start in this game. He came in 45 minutes for Amrabat, which makes no sense. Like, why would you not? He's your 6. Like, he's the only one there that can be like a full-on 6. McTominay can be in a pivot, like we said with Casemiro, right? But you don't take out Amrabat against this team.
Yeah,
I'm just confused on the team selection. I'm confused on the tactics. Like, you set yourself up to lose. That's it.
I think, really go for it, Sean. Go for it, Sean.
I'm on the same page. I'm on the same page that you claim to have been. The midfielders read Fernandez, Eriksen, Casemiro, Palestri, Van de Beek, McTominay, Mano, Hannibal.
He's talking about just for this game. That we're just there for this game.
On the United City match.
Yeah, he's not talking about on the team roster. He's just talking about in the game.
Rashford's listed as a forward. I don't know why he's listed as a midfielder.
Because there's playing a 4-2-3-1 is what it's saying. It's a 4-3-3, but they're putting Rashford and Bruno into the midfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it just this whole team selection just doesn't make sense.
They were forced into it. I mean, look at the bench. Like, I mean, yes, you could say take Varane for Evans, but like, think about the midfield. Like, how are you setting up the midfield differently, Brad, to succeed against this Manchester City team? What changes would you make?
I keep Amrabat in.
Okay.
Eriksen doesn't see the field because he can't run enough.
Okay.
So it's probably Amrabat, McTominay,
and Mount.
Bruno as your 10.
Bruno's a winger.
Hold on.
Bruno's been playing as a winger. He's been playing as a right winger to Rashford's left winger.
Right, but you're asking what I would do.
With this
I would put him as the 10.
Okay, well then who are you putting on the right wing? Mount?
Martial?
Garnacho?
Anthony. That's where Anthony's been playing.
Yeah, but Anthony's
been effective.
But he's a donkey.
Their whole offense is worse than Chelsea's.
Everybody
That we have just named as their forwards has less goals combined. Maybe not Bruno. Bruno might be the only one. Take out Bruno. They have less goals combined than Mudryk.
I will say that. I will say this: when Garnacho came on against Tottenham, I thought, "Oh crap, this guy's gonna score." The way he came on and affected the game. So why not play him? Just start him. Why not play him?
I kind of agree with you. I mean, like, especially
I'm not mad at you for it.
If my pea brain from Penny Lane can spot that, Ten Hog's mastermind brain can see that.
Garnacho does seem like a player that has a huge upside, and sometimes you just need to play those players. Sometimes you just need to get them on the pitch and let them work and let them experience and grow and develop.
Yeah.
But Ten Hag is in this, like, I need to win now mode, which makes sense. You do need to win now, but he's not.
Question, and this could be the last thing.
Yeah.
Do we think this 11 was set up because Ten Hag has been accused of playing his favorites no matter what.
No.
Because Antony's on the bench. Antony was the last one off the bench.
If Ten Hag is influenced by the media saying that he are only or like then that's even worse than bringing up Christian.
Also sacked.
Yeah, that would be an instant sack. Like you can't.
I'm with you, and I agree with you. I'm just asking the question because this lineup doesn't make sense.
I'm not sure. I don't think so, but I think that's where we leave you. I think that's what. Yes. I think Sean said he had trivia, but I think we're going to do that in our later episode this week, just for time purposes. We went a little long in this conversation, so apologies or congratulations for having a long podcast, however you want to look at it. But like I said earlier, if you could hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell. You can find us all online, our socials. Brad is at ksbradg. Down below, that's at whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany. Collectively, we are all reachable on all the socials at redcard_radio. Hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell, share it with a friend, and check back later. We will have a preview of match week 11 for you. Until then, have a good one. We will see you soon.